if that guy can do $1 million, I can do $1 million.
Stan, you are Jimmy Healer. I'm the Terry.
I'm going, what? Isn't it your responsibility?
Why I have to go with you? Because all the knowledge is already there.
And lay agreement down and go, here's my sale I made last night.
Disassembled the refrigerator, and then she said it's actually dishwasher.
Why would anyone say I'm horrible?
Whatever, this guy's successful. What does it mean, success?
Man, I want to build a business that does $1 million worth of revenue.
Calling to franchise managers and blaming me or franchising, not themselves.
Well, I can fix you up. We can shave your head before you leave today so you're just like me.
Welcome guys to my YouTube channel. My name is Adam and I'm in the wonderful, amazing place called Sarasota, Florida, and pretty actually the office for the Praxis S10 as a fuse service. We are running under their mentorship for more than 4 years, and right now with me, Chief Success Officer, how he's calling himself, I don't know why, but maybe because he want to bring this success to all the entrepreneurs he's working with. Terry Nicholson, thank you for inviting me to your office for finally for our podcast kind of thing. I like to do the podcast with people like you. I told you I tried to many times achieve you to sit with you like that and ask questions about the home services industry and how you ended up by doing the Praxis S10 things. Because not many people knows exactly what's going on for you and what is it Praxis S10. I asked many people, like, do you know the Praxis? Some of them may say yes, some of them say I have no idea who are they. And my goal as well to let more people know about the Praxis S10 and how amazing this program is. So tell a little bit about yourself. Are you US citizen? Because it's the most important questions for this nowadays right now. What's going on and how did you became to this place?
Well, you've downloaded a whole lot and said a whole lot there. And you asked me actually multiple questions all at once, and you never really gave me a chance to operate them or answer them. But yes, to answer your question, I'm a U.S. citizen. I was born and raised in Missouri. Lived in St. Louis for 27 years, and we had a business there. And my business partner, Jim Abrams, and myself and many other wonderful people, and built up a relatively large business there. And then we decided to relocate the business to Sarasota, Florida. And so we're here at Sarasota, Florida. So that's where I'm here.
27 years, it was your age when you started the business, or?
No, I said I lived in St. Louis, Missouri for 27 years before I moved to Florida. So I don't remember what age I got into the business, because if I told you that, then you'd know how old I really was and how long I was in the business. But I was probably 25, 24, 26, started in the industry as a sales representative selling heating and air conditioning business for equipment. So that was the business that I was in.
In your age 25, you started as a sales rep.
Yes.
Like a comfort advisor.
Yes.
And is it position called the same as these days, a sales rep as well?
Well, a lot of people use different terms, and our organization was really the ones that made Comfort Advisor popular nationwide. And as you know, and part of Praxis S10 is Jimmy Hiller, who's the largest independently owned heating and air conditioning company in North America. He likes the term project manager. So he calls his comfort advisors, salespeople, whatever you want to call it, project managers. So a lot of people are using the term project manager today as well.
Who you've been before you stepping up to the home services? Did you work for someone else, or you just being a student?
That's a long story in itself, and I'm actually a little hesitant to say that because a lot of the old timers in this business wouldn't have liked that, because at one point in time I was in the Yellow Page business.
Okay.
And back in those days, you know, you had to be in the Yellow Page business, and not a lot of people liked the Yellow Page representatives because they felt like you had a gun held to your head, because you knew if you didn't go in the Yellow Pages, you were going to get left out, and there was deadlines, and you knew the objective was always whatever you spent last year, you need to spend more next year and get a bigger ad.
No, right now you can talk about this. So you've been in like a marketing site, right?
Yes.
The Yellow Pages.
Yes.
Did you learn about the marketing in the university, college, or?
Yeah, I went to a university in Springfield, Missouri, and today it's known as Missouri State. It wasn't called that when I went to school there, though. It was called Southwest Missouri State University.
What was about these days? It was the major was called like a marketing, or how it was called?
I have a marketing degree and a minor in management. And I'm actually 6 hours away, and I'm not necessarily proud of this fact, Adam, but I'm 6 hours away from a double degree. And one of those classes was a very high level accounting course. And I made the decision I wasn't going to go into accounting, and I just made the decision I've been in school long enough, and I'm not going to go take that additional course in accounting. And I just made the decision. I've had enough fun. It's time to go to work. Get out there in the real world.
Sounds fair. Why not?
Mm-hmm. And not that I wasn't in the real world, because I was, and I don't want it to sound like I was freeloading, because I was paying my way through college. I was working and going to college full time. So I lived a pretty hectic schedule back in those days. Not as hectic as I live today. That was a little bit about what you asked me. And you did, and I was going to comment on that. I was going to compliment you on your persistence, because in business, so much of success is just being persistent. And it's not necessarily skill. It's not necessarily talent. It's just willing to say, I'm just going to stick after it until I get what I want. And as you know, I'm not a very big podcaster. I'm not a social guy. I don't participate in a lot of social media, so I don't really like doing these things.
Till now.
And you've been dogging me forever, and you wouldn't leave me alone, which is why I'm saying that persistent. No. So finally I just went, he's never going to quit asking me, so I might as well just do it.
Yes, sure.
So that's really how we came to be here today. So congratulations to you for being persistent. And that's got to be one of the, I guess, attributes that's led you to having tremendous success, because I'm fascinated by your story and how you've shared with me how you came to the United States. And I know you've had to overcome some tough, difficult times, because coming here without having the, I guess, what did you tell me? You said without command of the English language, I believe is what you said.
I barely spoken English.
Yes.
I came here.
And so I'm fascinated by you.
First time I came to the home, to the customers, and like, they was telling me something. I could try to understand a couple of words that what they are saying. I've heard them, and trying to, as an AI, LLM systems working right now on my head, trying to catch the words I know. So basically I was working on the refrigerator. Some lady was talking me something. I was completely disassembled the refrigerator, and then she said, it's actually dishwasher. Okay. It happened with me like not a couple times, just many times. But I went through these things. I've learned a lot, and I learned more words. Mm-hmm. So this is why I can talk with you like that. Tell me, what is it the Praxis S10 now?
What is it that we do?
Yeah. What's going on here?
Our mission is relatively simple. It's to create the world's most successful contractors. That's it. And our passion, we wake up every day and we ask two questions. How is it that we can help you enhance the success of your business? How is it we can help you enhance the success of your business? That's question 2 as well. And then sometimes we ask a third question. How can we help you enhance the success of your business? So that is our entire mission. That's our entire purpose. It's to take an industry where a lot of people come through the trades, as you did as well, because when you and I first met, you and Stan had built up a relatively large business compared to many people in the industry, but you did it through sheer will and effort and brute force. And then when you and I met, you realized that there is a process, there is a system, there is a proper way to answer the phone, there is a proper way to dispatch a call, there is a proper way to knock on the door as a technician, there is a proper way when you get in the home, there is a way if you're going to make a replacement sale, there's an entire system for that. There's a way that your financials should be laid out exactly. There is a way that you should market your business. There is a way that you should buy products and goods and services. And effectively, we help our members become happy. We help them become wealthy. We help them become wise by giving them the knowledge, the tools, the systems that are already time-tested, proven, and evidenced to work, that are the best operating systems in the universe that drive maximum yield success because every individual, including you or anyone tuned into your podcast today, you only have two ways to learn in life. You can learn on accident, which means you spend your own money, you spend your own energy, and you go out here and you make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. And hopefully you learn from it. But you know what? A lot of people make a lot of mistakes and they're not able to recover from it because their pocketbook is just not deep enough, or they do something that is just so business threatening, their business can't survive it. So that's one way. Learn by mistakes and trial and error. Well, the second way is learn on purpose. And that's where you meet with people like our organization, where we've walked the walk, built the biggest businesses, and we know how to operate these things. And we're not consultants. We're not trainers. There's a lot of people in this industry that hold themselves out as experts. We just teach what we do. And we say, this is our operating procedure. This is how we do it. Come and see it. Implement.
I would like to get the definition from you, because you many times repeated the word success. Because I've heard about myself, like people commenting me or saying, or you're successful, I'm successful, or whatever, this guy's successful. What does it mean, success? Because I've seen the very nice picture. It's called success is not own, it's rent, and you is today. I like it. But what is, in your purpose, the definition of the success? Because I wouldn't say I'm the successful. Many people think, because I'm living paycheck to paycheck still. I'm struggling. I do running a lot of projects. I have to manage all these money streams, where the money have to go. But what is in your head the success for the people who are watching this?
Well, I think you bring up an interesting point there, because we don't define what success is for you or someone else. So my definition of success is defining what a person wants to accomplish. So success is achieving what you set out to achieve. That's what success is. Now, in this business, which I'll keep it related to our business, I mean, that's the very first thing we ask clients when they come in the door, is we ask them, what does success mean to you? And for one individual, success may just mean, man, I want to build a business that does $1 million worth of revenue. You know, Jimmy Hiller is the largest independently owned heating and air conditioning company in North America. All right. And I think he's well north of $200 million of annual revenue in pure play residential service and replacement. Keep in mind, when I first met Jimmy, he was doing $200,000 of revenue. And we had an individual that we put up on stage that was making a lot of money for $1 million business. And I remember Jimmy telling me, looking up there and listening to that guy talk and going, if that guy can do $1 million, I could do $1 million.
Easy, right?
And Jimmy's definition became do $1 million of revenue. But once he got to $1 million, he looked around and he saw other people. That guy does 7 million. If he can do 7 million, I can do 10 million. All right. So sometimes your success changes. So anyway, I kind of got off on a tangent there, but I want to answer your question fully. Is step one is define your success.
Yeah.
For one individual, though, it's not even about revenue. For one individual, it may be, I want to make X dollars. And if I could get my income to this, well, if he gets there, if that's his success, then hallelujah. Another person already makes a lot of money in this business. There's guys in this industry that make millions of dollars a year, but they don't really have a freedom because that business is 100% dependent upon them. If they walked away from that business, if they got hit by a bus and was in the hospital for 6 months, their business would fall apart. So for some of those individuals, they have all the money they want, but they want a business that'll operate without them, that'll run on cruise control. Another one just wants the pride and satisfaction of building a $1 billion business. Success is not defined by me comparing my net worth against your net worth. My success will be defined by, this is what I want to achieve. And at the end of the day, week, month, year, if I achieved it, I'm a success. If I failed, I failed. And same for you.
Not successful. Like the things happening all the time, right? Anyway, and make you unhappy, unsuccessful, and you're feeling like, I'm unsuccessful today. Something wrong happened. But it doesn't mean success wouldn't be achieved tomorrow for some another things.
Well, that's part of that perseverance we talked about.
Yeah. My plan was for this year actually to make this podcast with you. So I believe this is one of the successful things I'm running right now.
Okay.
So at least I achieved something.
You might want to set your goals a little higher.
No, I mean, sometimes I have to just work on something and achieve it. Back to the days you worked for as a project manager and you're 25 years old. It wasn't your business.
It was Jim Abrams' business.
Yeah. So you worked for him as a project manager for how many years?
I've worked with Jim Abrams. He's been my business partner, or I worked for him for 30 some years. So once I started working with him, I worked in a lot of different positions and he had different businesses. So he had the first business that I worked at was called Air Experts, and that was the heating and air conditioning company. But he also had another organization called Contractors Success Group, and that was actually the first best practice organization of its kind in our industry. And it was very similar to what we do here today. Here's how you operate a business. If you want to come and learn from us, then come to our facility. And it was a membership organization where individuals paid money to be part of, but they got every operating system that Jim Abrams had. So from there, I evidenced that I was pretty good at helping homeowners get happily involved in a new home comfort system. So inside Contractor Success Group, he actually had me start doing training programs to train other comfort advisors on a system, on here's how you would take it. In fact, you talk about being successful. Back in those days, I was driven by a personal motivation. And, I was reading a book one day and it said, get yourself a personal mission statement. And keep in mind, I'm in my 20s, early 20s then. And I wrote down to have a positive impact on people's lives. So it was really fulfilling to be able to walk into a room of people and educate them on how to change their life and be highly successful selling heat and air conditioning equipment. And back in those days, most people thought you had to have industry experience. Well, I came from entirely outside the industry. We were promoting, don't take your installer, don't take someone who's old, broken down technical knowledge and move them to sales, which so many people in the industry still do today. Go outside, get a person who knows nothing about the industry, and we'll train them on a system. Yeah. And so I wrote down, once I moved over into the training side, now I didn't stop selling as well. Yeah. And it brought tremendous power to be standing in front of 40, 50 salespeople and in class at 5:30, and then come back in the next morning and lay agreement down and go, here's my sale I made last night. Yeah. It gave me instant credibility, and that happened often. I'm training in the day, I'm selling at night, and I'm showing, guys, here's exactly what I did. And just teaching exactly the same process. And the more successful we became at that, the more our members started hiring people from outside the industry. And the first place they'd send them, in fact, they based their hiring decisions based on when our class. If our class started on Monday, their first day on the job would be Monday, and they would put them on a plane on Sunday, and they would be sitting in our class. And that happened all the time, all right? And so I wrote down, I want to be the maker of $1 million salespeople, because back in those days, in the late 80s, early 90s, I mean, if you sold $1 million, you were the Michael Jordan of the industry. Today, that number's nothing. But back in those days, it was. And I established a reputation, and that's really how I first got known in the industry, was being the maker of $1 million salespeople. And then when so many people were starting to achieve it, I changed the name of it and said, I'm going to be the maker of the $2 million salespeople. And then as indoor air quality started coming out, I got famous for indoor air quality because I understood it. I took it upon myself to learn it and went out and within Jim Abrams' business, built an indoor air quality division as well. Highly profitable, helped millions of people out there. I'm not saying I personally help millions of people, but the power of indoor air quality that can have on people and just changing lives with that. And so that led me into lots of responsibilities. And then we formed the first publicly traded heat and air conditioning company, which I was on that executive team, and that was called Service Experts. So Jim Abrams was the individual leading that charge along with his business partner, John Young. And we took 13 companies public on NASDAQ, eventually led over to the New York Stock Exchange. And a year and a half or so after doing that, Jim retired and rode off into the sun. And that company, as you know, is still in existence today. It's probably $1 billion business today. But in order for a business to be still in business when the founders and the leaders leave, it tells you that the foundation was laid and the principles were built. And so I take great pride today. I travel the countryside and I'm virtually in almost every major city. I'll see a service expert's truck. And I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole forever, but after Jim got tired of being retired, he came out of retirement and said, I'm starting another organization. So I said, I'm with you, Jim. So we started another business. And in that business, we built up another big dynasty. Yeah, pretty much. It was actually the largest branded residential home service company in North America. So now Jim's done it twice.
Yeah. Service experts, and next is?
Well, we called it Clockwork Home Services, but we had underneath there Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, Mr. Sparky Electric, Successware 21 Software. We had Buymax, which is a buying organization. We had a Fendi Group where we trained independents that didn't take our brand, but they wanted to know our systems, kind of like you do today. And it was for the heating, air conditioning, the plumbing, the electrical. We even had a roofing organization. And I'm missing something there, but can't remember everything. And then we also operated our own retail operations as well. And so I think we had roughly 13 locations. We were doing a little over $220 million of plumbing, electrical, and HVAC, just like your business is doing today. So we built that business roughly in 11 years. And so personally doing $220 million of our residential service side. Then we had those franchise businesses. We had our Fendi businesses. We had our software business. So we had a lot of entities up and running and was going pretty strong, pretty hard. And Direct Energy approached us and said, we'd like to buy your business. And Jim said, the business is not for sale. We love our business. We're happy with it. And Direct Energy said, well, we got $183 million. Jim said, well, maybe the business is for sale.
Depends on the price, right?
Yeah.
Give me the numbers.
Yeah. So we ended up selling that business in July 1st, 2010.
Amazing. That's why I'm here, to listen. Right now, the Praxis S10 helping a lot of home services entrepreneurs. Do you run any home service business as an entrepreneur for this moment too, or you just running this Praxis S10?
Me personally? Is that the question?
Maybe personal, okay. Or the group of the people you are owning. I mean, you are in. At this current stage, I do not have ownership in a heating and air conditioning business. All right. Well, there's two caveats there. All right. There's the connection between Jimmy Hiller and Praxis S10. Of course.
Jimmy Hiller is the day-to-day operator. Praxis S10 is the educational arm. So once again, Jimmy goes out and does exactly what you do every single day. He's making the phone ring. He's answering the phone. He's getting his team to, and I'm not telling you Jimmy's personally answering the phone when you're running a $200+ million business, but he's got this big team and they're in the same business that you're in today. All right. So we communicate with each other in a fashion of, if Praxis S10 has concepts, principles, new inventions we want to roll out to the marketplace, we take them to Jimmy Hiller's business first. And Jimmy is the real live proving ground on any principle. So we don't test market and try new things on our clients. Yeah. The only things we ever bring are time tested and proven. Now, that doesn't mean we invent them all either. Sometimes Jimmy, in his day-to-day operations, will run into a problem or challenge he's having in his business. And don't think when you run a $200 million business, your life gets easier than if you're running $1 million business. It does. In fact, it gets multiplied.
Yeah. Problems multiplied.
Yeah. In fact, that's where the real advantage is, because $1 million business is having problems and they don't even know they have them, because they may only see that problem once a week, once every other week. Think about the average company. I think the industry average now is something like 1.5 million of annual revenue. Now, I can't multiply 1.5 or divide 1.5, so we'll make it 2 million. Do you know that if you're a $2 million heat and air conditioning company, you're going to have to work for the next 100 years to see the problems that Jimmy's going to see this year alone?
Yeah, that's right.
And so he'll see problems every day.
It's like that's what I'm learning right now during the last 3 years. Yeah, we're growing, but the problem would not be appear in our lives never if we're gonna fly lower. But because we're trying to fly higher a little bit, there's another problems, like a higher level problems, like a legal issue. Some of the contractors never accomplish in their entrepreneur's life. Some of the like employees issues, something the franchising issues, because nobody like normal home service entrepreneurs, they even don't think about the franchising. I met a lot of guys who are trying to accomplish franchising model, but because there is a one owner of this whole thing, not like Jimmy Hiller and you, Terry, they cannot do it because they cannot multiply themselves and they cannot push this responsibility about another organization. When I first time came, and you all the time was mentioning about the Jimmy Hiller, and then we went to the Nashville to see this amazing big facility. I was talking to my partner Stan. Stan, you are Jimmy Hiller, I'm the Terry. That was like the comparison and parallels. So this why we like your story and we would like to be as you. And I told you maybe a year ago, Terry, I want to be like you when I'm going to be in your age and telling the story to my grandsons, granddaughters, as you're doing right now to the entrepreneurs, because we calling you Uncle Cool. And we want to be with you because you know a lot of things. We have never idea what's going to happen like in the next step. So this is why we would like to be with you like for many years.
Well, I can fix you up. We could shave your head before you leave today, so you're just like me.
I'll be there, I think. Yeah, because my grandfather...
You don't want me to help you out today?
No.
Okay, all right. Don't say I didn't offer.
I'll be there anyway. So 11 years of this clockwork organization with 1 hour air conditioning, Benjamin Franklin, Mr. Sparky. Right now, this organization grew a lot, I think, after even 2010, right? And I've checked maybe last year, there was 400 locations in the United States. They're producing $400 million revenue and average their location making about $1 million. Do you think they're doing everything right? Or you have no idea? You sold and I don't care.
Let me preface it this way. Okay. When we sold Direct Energy, shortly after Jim retired on me, he's retired on me 3 times. That's pretty inconsiderate, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay. But I stayed with them for 2 years. And when my 2-year commitment that I told them I would stay at, I left. Well, we were non-competed.
Yeah.
And including in the non-compete, I really wasn't supposed to talk to these individuals. So that was very difficult because you build this relationship with me, these clients you're serving, and you see their success, and not to be able to really talk with them is really a challenging proposition. So once I left there, by legal requirements placed on me by Direct Energy, I really couldn't track and follow what was going on. And so when you can't and you're not supposed to talk with clients, you don't really know what's going on. And it didn't really matter at that point in time because I'm now moving on to the next phase of my life. All right. And Jim and I went out and we actually built a physical therapy and franchise business. And so it's called Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. FYZICAL. So that's what we did after Direct Energy. All right. And that business, it's got approximately 500 franchise locations across the United States as well now. We sold 51% of that business, 2016, 2017, something like that. So tremendous success in itself. And those people brought their own management team in, and we're not involved in that day-to-day operation. I'm on the sideline saying grow, but I don't have anything to do with it. But my point on why I said that is that gave me time to step away from the heating and air conditioning business and realized how much I enjoyed it, realized how much I enjoyed the individuals that operate this business. I mean, you guys are my type of guy, all right? We're just salt of the earth people. That's really the way most people are who are in the in-home service business.
So basically you say you can run another organization like a Praxis S10, but for the physical therapists.
Well, we evidence we can do that too.
Yeah.
Okay. But, I wanted to get back on the heating air conditioning side. And that was a long way to your answer is I don't really worry too much about what other companies do. And I think if you have, I presume these are business owners listening to your podcast, I think there's too much focus and worry about your competition, because your competition is really your own deficiencies in your own business. That's really where your competition is. Now, I will tell you, I take great pride in, I don't travel as much now as I used to, but I had a son, and I still have sons and daughter, but I had two individuals. Two of my sons played on a club hockey where they traveled across the United States, and almost every city I went to, when I got out, I'd see a Ben Franklin truck, I'd see a 1 hour air conditioning truck, I'd see a Mr. Sparky truck, I'd see a Service Experts truck, I'd see former clients that were kept their own brand, and I take great pride of going, I was there when that started. I was there when that started.
This truck? Yeah. That was my company.
Yeah. And so, and I throw that out there as not as braggadocious, but as a lesson again. How many owners who start one of these home service business, when they retire, does that business stay in existence? Very few. Yeah. But when you look back on our organizations, man, I haven't had anything to do with Service Experts now since 28 years. Feels like just yesterday. I haven't had anything to do with any of those 1 hour Ben Franklin, Mr. Sparky brands or any of those since 14 years. It seems like just yesterday. But yet those businesses are still up. They're still in operation. They're growing strong. And that means we had a strong foundation laid. And effectively, that's what we do here at Praxis S10. Anybody who's willing to follow the system, it's not that tough a business. There's 10 guiding pillars of success. That's it.
Yeah.
There's 10 pillars.
Easy.
Do these 10 things.
Yeah.
Set your ego aside. Evaluate yourself on a scale of 1 to 9 or 1 to 10. If you can get above 9 in this pillar, this pillar, this pillar, this pillar, you're not going to have to worry about what you want to achieve in life.
Yeah.
In fact, what traditionally happens is people come in, they say, this is what my success looks like. If I could achieve this, died and gone to heaven. We help them, the serious ones, write a plan. And we normally start, if they've never had a plan before, with a 5-year plan. And usually in year 3, they've already exceeded what they set out to be their 5-year plan. And then once they achieve it, then what they thought was success to them gets elevated. And they go, why not me? And they start looking around, they go, that guy's 20 million. I can do that. And they go do 20 million. And then they look around, that guy's 30 million. Well, I can do that. And then one guy goes, that guy goes on vacation once a week every month. I can do that. And then one guy goes, I don't even want to work in my business. That guy takes a week off every month. I can take 4 weeks off every month. And the business will print money. So see, this is a land of opportunity, as you know. It's America. I'm biased, and I can't tell you I've lived anywhere else. Yeah. I've been to a lot of different countries, though. So I can live where I want to live, and I choose to live here. You probably could live where you want to live. You choose to live here. So you got these wonderful opportunities in front of you. The wonderful thing about living in this country is you get the freedom of choice to decide how and where and when you want to be. And you get to determine what business you want to be in. If you don't like the business, shut up, quit whining, go get a new business.
Yeah.
That's the freedom you have, right?
Let's back to your personal things. You mentioned last time you just working half day. What the half day? It's the half day you said it's just a 12 hour. And I said, like, what? And you said you came to the office 6 a.m.?
Most days I'm here by 6.
6, okay. And working just a half day?
Most days I'm gone by 6.
Yeah. So it's like, why? I mean, is it necessary to do the same things? What is it, addiction? Or is this the things you have to do? Or what's the reason? What is driving?
No, this business will operate without me. Once again, I don't mean this to show off, but last year I went on a 3-week vacation.
Oh my God.
And this business didn't miss a lick.
Yeah.
But I was ready to get back to work. So it's not about how many hours you work. It's really about what you want to accomplish. Now, I understand people are different stages of their life. I'm not telling you it was always that way. There were times when I worked 12 hours a day because economics demanded it. But once you start learning principles and once you start accumulating money, then you're going to find that if you really love what you do, it will be a self-fulfillment. Jimmy still works long hours today. He doesn't need to, but he does it because he likes it. And I think that's the difference. I think a lot of people who complain about the hours that they work is because they don't love the business. They're not achieving the desired success that they want to achieve. See, I love this business. I like walking in here every day. There are days when I don't want to go home, and I love my wife, but I'm having fun and my mind's working on a very specific project. And I take great pride in fulfilling and creating something that's going to drive huge success for our members. And when I see people achieve that, it's just all well worth it at that point in time. I don't have to work. I work because I guess it's self-fulfilling. And I think everybody's been put on this earth and they have purpose. Now, unfortunately, some people don't live up to their purpose and they'll have to answer to someone else for that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. But as long as I can bring value, as long as I'm contributing to society, as long as I'm making a positive impact, I really don't see myself doing anything other than showing up and helping people do what they want to achieve in life.
But is there any work-life balance like existing, or it's all the time something in your head running all the times?
I say this, and a lot of people think that joking with it, I only work when I want to. That's it. If I want to go on a 3-week vacation, I'm going to go on a 3-week vacation. If I want to go on a backcountry elk hunting trip in the mountains of Idaho or Colorado, I'm going to go. So I do what I want when I want. I work because I want to work.
I've been asked for many times, why are you working so many hours a day or something like that? I'm like, I'm not working. This is just my life. I have no work. This is just my style. I have no work-life balance. I have work infused to my lifestyle guy. That's it. I mean, I have no balancing. I'm just the whole business infused in my life. That's it. So even I go home, I'm on my phone or on my computer, or I'm doing some stuff I have to do, or maybe I don't have to do, but I do. This is why I can open my cell phone in the night, 3 a.m. I'm like, I've got the message. I have to reply right away. And when I reply and I'm waiting from someone to do the same, and I've got the response after 1 week, where's this guy been? What happened with him? And I have these questions for many people when they answering like me after a couple days or something like that.
Why do you think they ask you those questions?
I have no idea. I have no clue, actually. Like,
you're a smart guy.
I mean, this why...
Think about it.
No, I mean, this why I just connected AI to my social medias when I don't want to answer these questions. Like many times I just give my knowledge or behavior to the AI and it just responding like I will gonna respond to them. I never been in their shoes.
Well, that's very true. Now, as a rule of thumb, granted I said rule of thumb, do you think more people care more about you, or do you think they care more about themselves?
For sure about themselves.
And I sit around and I drive down the road, I think of things, and I don't really consider myself that smart a guy.
Me too. Yeah.
You don't think of me as being a very smart guy?
No. I'm thinking about...
That's what you just said.
No, I'm talking about myself.
Okay. But I get credit for being a smart guy when the reality is I don't consider myself that smart, but what I have the ability to do is think on a subject for a long, long, long time. And I have the ability to go to bed at night thinking on a problem. I have the ability to wake up in the middle of the night thinking on a problem. I have the ability to wake up in the morning thinking on a problem. And all of a sudden, the answer will just appear. Now, did the answer appear in that 60 seconds? Or did the answer appear because I've been thinking on it for 120 hours? Well, I'm going to suggest it's because I've been thinking on it for 120 hours.
Yeah.
All right. So what I found, and why I asked you that question, is almost always when people ask me a work-life balance question, they're really trying to justify whatever position they are in life. I probably shouldn't even go down this rabbit hole, but if people look at you and go, oh, you're achieving more success than I am, it's much easier to pull you down than it is to get on the mountaintop and climb up to your level. And so individuals will start looking for all these different things. I mean, I can't tell you how many people will come up to me and they'll say, the only thing preventing me from running a successful business is that I just love my kids too much. I love my wife too much. I'm going, what? Isn't it your responsibility, if you own a business, to provide a great income and support your family and give them what they want? So they use their own family as excuses for their failure, rather than understanding you don't have to work 12 hours a day. You can work 12 hours a day and work on the wrong things and still fail. Or you can work 4 hours a day, 2 hours a day on the right things and achieve a lot of success. So I think most people talk about work-life balance. They're really trying to rationalize whatever position they are in life.
I believe they're mostly on W-2 people. Like, okay, I have to work 9 to 5. I have to go home, love my wife, my kids, and tomorrow I wake up and go to the work again. And then I cut off my lines and everything. And I'm like, okay, how many times you've heard about you're a lucky guy?
Yeah.
You're a lucky guy, right? This way you're so successful.
What is that? And I wish I'd invented it. I didn't invent it, but I had an individual show me years ago. The L for luck stands for laboring. Have you heard this?
Yeah.
The U stands for under, and the C is correct. The K is knowledge. Laboring under correct knowledge. That's luck.
Yeah.
I consider it, I love the outdoors. I love to hunt.
Yeah.
All right? You know, I love wild turkey hunting. I don't know why, I just do. I get excited about it, and it's fun. And you know what? There are times where I'll be hunting with people, and they'll be tired, they'll be worn out, they'll be weary, and we haven't seen a turkey all day or been able to call one up. And I'll look at them and I'll say, well, if we go back to camp, definitely aren't going to get one. We got a chance if we're out here in the woods.
That's right.
And then I have to just keep telling them, it only takes 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know anything about turkey hunting or not, but you know what? You could be out there for days and never hear anything, and then on the very next call that you make, a turkey will gobble, and he'll be there, and in 1 or 2 minutes, the game's over, and he's right there in front of you, and you got Thanksgiving turkey on your back going back to your truck of that satisfaction. So, was I lucky, or was it persistent?
Yeah.
Was I lucky, or was it, I'm not giving up and I'm staying out of here?
I just heard like, oh, you got to the United States in 2016. It was a very nice time to get to the United States as an immigrant. And then you got COVID time when you was running your home services business. So it was a golden era. So you got very nice partner. You got lucky. You have very nice, beautiful woman in the life. You got lucky.
And see, you were lucky. You came over here and didn't even speak English, right?
Yeah.
So
I got lucky too.
And how many dollars did you have in your pocket when you came here?
$24,000.
$24,000. Okay.
It's decent amount. I spent in the first 1.5 months in the San Jose, California, because there's still considered to very most expensive area in the United States. So I spent it right away. Had to work hard to get money back, investments I brought here.
Well, I think it's fascinating. I think it's humorous. You know, when we started Mr. Sparky, and we didn't create that brand, Patrick Kennedy created that brand. And we were smart enough to recognize Patrick Kennedy as the greatest residential electrician in the United States. And we knew when we were getting into electrical. So I went and met with Patrick and got to know him and share with him what our vision was to build a company across the United States. And we'd like to use his name, and we'd like him to be part of that success with us. And he ran a highly successful business in Atlanta and was one of the larger residential electric companies in all of North America. But anyway, I got off on that tangent because the reason Mr. Sparky, that name, do you know what a Sparky is?
The name itself?
Yeah, where the name Sparky comes from.
I mean, because all electricians work with sparky things.
Well, in Ireland, which is where Patrick came from. Electrician is not called electrician, they're called a Sparky. And he left school at the age of 14. So he's educated basically through middle school and became an electrician. When he was 18 years old, working 4 years now as a Sparky in Ireland, he decided that he was going to set sail and travel to a new world. Just like you, he came to the United States of America, and he landed in New York City on St. Pat's Day. And he said, man, if an Irishman, he should be able to get a job on St. Pat's Day. And so he tells that story, and he said, I did not get a job on St. Pat's Day, but I sure had a lot of fun at the St. Pat's Day parties that took place that day. But here's a guy that comes from Ireland. He's educated to the 14 years of age. He lands in America with $2,500 in his pocket. And today it's one of the biggest electrical companies in North America. Luck? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably more.
More than that.
More than luck. Laboring under correct knowledge.
Yeah. What is it the next week or the next week after the Praxis S10 running the Ignite conference every year? What is it about?
Well, I could tell you, but if I told you, I'd have to kill you because it's top secret.
Okay. What about was the last year? Top secret too?
Well, let's just leave it at this. Ignite is a national event where people come from all across the United States and Canada, and we convene as a membership organization. It's all predicated on us getting together as a group to get everyone ignited about our industry again. Now, do we roll out new developments that Jimmy Hiller's been implementing? Do we roll out ways to improve the existing business? Yeah, we do. Do we roll out new improvements and enhancements? Yeah, we do. So it's really designed to get everybody together inside the organization. And it's about community. It's about networking. It's about knowledge. It's really about how to get jacked up and go back into business and apply these tools to help your people provide a higher level of service, to give the homeowners a higher level of service, so the owners and leadership team can achieve their desired success. Yeah, that's coming up in a week and a half. But probably the most important, now that's fun, it's entertaining, it's highly educational, and I believe members should come to that. But I don't believe that's where the biggest value of Praxis S10 is. We just finished up yesterday what I believe the biggest value of Praxis S10 is. Every single month, we have what we call launch. And launch, and you've had a whole bunch of people through that organization, all right? In fact, just jokingly between you and me, there are times where I'm talking and I'll be, can they really understand me? Because every time your group's speaking, they're not speaking a language that I understand. And shame on me for not knowing that language, but I don't know that language. So I always wonder if they can understand what I'm saying. Now they sit there and they smile, they nod their head, so I assume, and they come back the next day. So
you're just repeating emotions of the people who are smiling on your jokes.
Okay, all right. So anyway, that 3-day is really designed to help people do step one, which is, what does success mean to you? And then the second step of what success means to you is, where are you at today? Because until you know where you're at today, until you are willing to admit where you're at today, you can't even put a plan in place to go where you want to go. And step 3 is, now what do you need to do to get there? It's a relatively simple process. And then we have those 10 pillars of success laid out, and it's, here's everything and all the tools, all the resources. In fact, if somebody tried to go out and create all the tools, the resources, and the knowledge, even predicated if they could, they'd probably spend $5 million on what they walk out of here with in 3 days. So that's where the greatest impact comes from. And then we're not done after that 3 days. It's not a 3-day seminar. It's not what Praxis S10 is about. It's about working with an elite group of hard-charging, success-minded individuals who want to give the world a higher level of service, that want to have great team members that are committed to helping them achieve tremendous success, about becoming the highest paid. It's about owners who want to take pride in their business and make a lot of money, grow a great business, but yet not be a slave to the business.
First time when we went in the launch, for first 3 days, our jaws just fell to the floor. The next year after the first launch, we doubled our revenue, at least I think, from $13 million to the, I don't know, 28 at least.
Good for you. 13 to 28?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It just in first year, and we've got maybe, I don't know how many percent, maybe 5% of the knowledge we used from just the 3 days launch program. And then next year I came back. We've made maybe 36 million next year after the second launch, because we implemented a little bit more and we still have to implement more. So let's talk about the resistance for the changes of the business owners, because I have resistance to change. I have to wake up every day, like smash my eyes and like, oh, I have to do something today. I have to go and do the podcast. I have to go to the gym. I have to go and kiss my kids, my wife, like say hi and handshake every people. I have to meet in the office, and then to change my behavior, to do the same or do better. I see the resistance of the another business owners in my, even the franchising model. They don't want to change themselves. They don't want to wake up. They don't want to meet to me in the meeting or to the, even to Zoom call, or just to call me and say, I have a problem. They calling to franchise managers and blaming me or franchising, not themselves. Sometimes I think like I have to educate people how to do the success. Because I'm in the franchising side, I have to put my body in front of them, pushing them hard as possible, and they just like staying this way, and I'm on the back trying to push, and they don't want to even try to walk. What do you think about these people?
So much of, and this is the hard one, all right? So much of success is really mental, how you think. It takes the right influence. It takes being in the right places. It takes the right mentorship to continue to be exposed to the right information. I think most people underestimate how important their philosophy, how they think every day, impacts their success. All right. And the reality is, I don't think you can really push people, especially not on franchising.
That's what I'm learning too.
Because
I'm like 1 year of pushing, 2 years, and then like I got to talk to conversation. And we like checking the previous years, nothing changed. The same amount of the revenue. He learned nothing. He even cannot get his license. So what's going on? And we decided on every introductory video before we're gonna sell the franchising to listen to these people and record this video. What you wanted to accomplish, like you said. And he said, oh, I want to be like you. I want to be successful. I want the beautiful wife like you, beautiful car like you. I the same immigrant like you. I'm just in different state, different city. He's like seeing him like me in the future. He gonna do the same. And I do want to the same, get him to my position. And I say it's easy, but you just have to do this, go to the Praxis, sign up and learn all these things, because we did the same and you have to do the same. This way we're partners of the Praxis for many years, and I'm telling everyone just to learn it, implement, and be happy. I thought it's easy. Just get it done, just like spend the money on whatever you want. And then, because we recorded this video, I wanted to show him when he like deciding or either quit or just everything falling apart, to show him himself back like these 3 years ago, what he wanted to accomplish. And then he like, oh, I lost something during these 2-3 years. And it's like all about the resistance in the end of himself.
Well, unfortunately, life is not all lollipops and rainbows and sunshine.
Yeah.
There are going to be days.
Yeah.
There's no perfect business. No perfect business.
Absolutely.
I can look back on the experiences that we built and it all sounds great. Well, I think as a business owner, you got to really get good at having a short memory. And we've had tons of failures throughout our life. We've had tons of situations where potentially we were in a business threatening situation.
Yeah, that's right.
We just weren't going to throw in the towel. And there are going to be days when you encounter that. The question will be, do you have the wherewithal to keep going? It's easy to turn a video on and say, I want that. Everybody's got desire. I mean, when the lights are on, there's 100,000 people standing in the stadium cheering and yelling. I think every football player wants to win. But does every football player have the ability to watch 2 to 4 hours of game tape every day after practice?
That's right.
Do they have time to get up and go to the gym and work out after they just got done with practice? No, they don't. All right. So there's a difference between turning the video on and saying I have a desire and the difference of will you do it? And, you know, we also operate by these principles inside Praxis S10. So we have a relatively simple company. Here's 10 principles. We've built 8 national brands by following those 10 principles. Now, those are all mostly mental principles.
That's right.
Then we've got 10 pillars of success. Those are actual fundamentals that you must do inside of a in-home service business if you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
All right. Number 9 of that principle is, do you have the iron will? And the iron will just means I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to keep going. I don't care how many times I get punched in the nose. I'm just going to keep going and moving forward. So often that is just the difference right there. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. I get to see it. There are some people that just aren't going to do it. They'll say it. I want it, as long as it comes on a platter served by the butler.
Even it's served, they won't eat it and process. I usually say our franchising organization is psychological support organization to don't motivate, just to support, because they're like losing sometimes the belief what they are doing, what they are doing, what they want to do, and what they're gonna achieve after, because they're losing the mind and the ability to do something.
And so from your leadership position there, Adam, I believe every time you reach out and touch people in your monthly sessions, because I know you have monthly meetings, and let me guess, not everyone shows up on your monthly meetings, right? I know you have your annual gatherings, and I'm sure not everyone shows up on your annual gatherings as well.
Yeah.
But I think from your standpoint, I guess the little bit of nugget of wisdom I would give you is you always got to have a component of, here's how you operate the business, the tools, but here's also educating them on how to think, because their thought is going to play a huge contributing role in their success. And normally when you describe what just took place there is the person is having challenges in their life, and it may not even be business related, it may be personal, but usually it's business related but they both impact. If you're having problems at home, you're having problems at business. And if you're having problems at business, you're having problems at home. And not to think they're not interconnected in some way is probably naive in itself. All right. And now, was it the business that created the problems at home? I don't believe that. Was it the problems at home that created the problems in the business? I don't believe that either. I'm not saying they don't impact each other.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're having marriage problems, don't blame it on the business. Blame it that you don't have a business that runs on cruise control, that is printing the money, and the management team and the leadership team that allows you to stay at home and focus on your spouse or whatever the situation is, and vice versa. All right. So you always got to be promoting and educating. Here's how you think, and how you think is going to impact the success of your business. And I was very fortunate as a young individual to have these individuals like Jim Abrams teaching me effectively how to think successful. Because how you think, you can wake up every day and you can think, well, let's take it back to the business. All right. You were a technician in this business. If you looked at that homeowner and you went, they need a new system, but I don't think they're going to be able to afford it or want it, so I'm just going to do the repair. How many times did you get the replacement if you thought like that? 0. All right. And I'm not saying you get it every time when you go, they need a replacement, and you follow the process, but you get it a whole lot more. So my point is, how that person thinks impacts whether they get the replacement or not. How that person behaves. You know, how you think really influences your behavior. and your behavior influences your results, and results influence your success. So that individual who's saying all that stuff, they're not having success. So they start looking externally and they start blaming everybody else and their brother rather than realize they're the issue. You know, and I keep saying I'm going to do this. I probably need to write this down and just, you know, I'm going to make a commitment to you. I'm going to figure out how to do this. I'm going to get a mirror. And I bet with your technical engineering, you could probably even figure it out. I'd like to have a mirror that swivels, like one of these up and down mirrors, you know, life-size mirror that would swivel. And I want to write problem across the top of it. So anytime any business owner came in and said, I'm having this problem, I just say, come right over here and stand in this mirror.
Yeah.
Stare at this mirror. You're looking at right here the problem. And then I want to be able to rotate this mirror. And when it rotates, the bottom will become the top and the top will say solution. You're also looking at the solution to every problem you have in your business.
That's right.
Can you help me figure out how to engineer a mirror like that?
Just on the middle two nails and just rotate it.
You know, since I did this podcast, why don't you just send me a mirror?
No problem.
Put problem on the top, solution on the bottom.
Yeah.
I love when a plan comes together. I like these podcasts more now that I know I'm getting a mirror.
It's doable. The people are amazing. I mean, some of the home service entrepreneurs who are easy to educate, easy to train. I mean, opposite side. There's many amazing guys who are willing to learn, willing to implement, and they are doing amazing. This is why actually even the few service franchising exist still, because if the 90%, more than 90% is going to be like the blaming the system or the organization, I would quit. But there's all the time, maybe more than 20% people are top performers all the time. And they're watching them, like 70%, they're watching these people and they want to be there too. Some of them, we talk about it already, even in the sports game, when you're 3 hours watching on your coach and say, these guys have a good DNA, the nature, thank them, like give them this amazing body, they can run like 3 hours long and have no harm for their like physical activities. And it's like a practicing, training, and even I go to the gym right now. I'm using the trainer to do the same things every day, but the correct way. He just watching me what I do and pushing me a little bit harder than I can. Because I never thought what the mentorship is actually working or the trainers are working. And I went to the gym for 3-4 years or even more straight without any improvements. I got trainer, I got better. Then another trainer, got better again. And I believe here's the same analogy, because, and you said about it, like you can do a lot of things with your mistakes without any improvements, and then you got some ideas, you're gonna get improvements. Many people gonna say again, like, I know that stuff, but I have excuses. They're in Florida. They have like a hot season, I don't know, like 90% of the year. They have like running the AC business and something. Or they are in California. There's rich people living there or somewhere else. I telling people, anybody, the same, like air conditioning, heating, ventilation, etc., can be doable in any places. Let's talk about a little bit future. This is why I'm wearing this amazing t-shirt actually with Robert. It's a Tesla Optimus. I've heard many times already, but I'm happy to do it for many years forward. And I don't want to quit the franchising business model, because the home service is in the spot where in the home services is getting scalable, because we still considerable on the low margin business, but about like from 10 to 30% of the net profit from the year. And franchising model is amazing. But nowadays they got ChatGPT, Gemini, and etc., and they say, why I have to go with you? Because all the knowledge is already there. I said, yes, go ahead, do the same. They try to do something, and I asked after the couple years, what you got? It's been around like for 2-3 years, and excuses. like problems in the mirror. Solutions on ChatGPT, but maybe it should be the mirror actually. When you type it or like say to this mirror and the solutions generated on ChatGPT, yes, do it, right? Maybe the screen with a camera on the top. What are you saying? What's the problem? And it's give it to you the solution. I just came 2-3 weeks ago from the franchising conference in Las Vegas. I go there every year. It won't die. Will not die because all the human relationships, even all the future is going on, all the technology is going on, the AI. But what do you think? What's happening with people? Why they're not even using AI to accomplish all these things? Because it's all available, right? Even like, why I have to go to the Praxis? I said, yeah, use ChatGPT. Why not? It's easy. Everything is there. All books over the world, all the information is there already. What's going on?
Well, I don't know if they are or not. I mean, there's a new book that comes out every day, so I don't think every book's ever been written. So
about the future, like where we go, and all these technologies, and about the educational systems.
I don't think anyone really ever knows the future. All right. What I do know is this. Well, I shouldn't say I do know, because what I think I may know may not be right. All right. Yeah. I know that this industry has been very slow to change. And I know this will be contrary to a lot of people's opinion. I don't think technology ever in our industry for the past 100 years has really drove the industry. I think the technology inventions have helped people who are already successful enhance their success more. But if you're struggling in business and you think AI is going to save my business, it's not going to happen. Technology is a enhancer, and it just makes you more what you already are. So am I worried about AI? No, I get excited about AI because I think AI will allow you to do the things that you couldn't do before. But, and I'll give you one example, right? Just one example, and hopefully this makes my point. You and I both know that the telephone rings every single day at a service company, and there are calls from real live customers that they've spent money to make the phone ring on that don't get booked. Agreed?
Yeah.
All right. And yet we rely upon our client care specialists to tell us, and you're on Service Titan, right? Yeah. And I don't care what software people are on, so I'm not here promoting Service Titan. I care that you manage your business. But there's a little bubble, and you're supposed to click on that if you don't book the call. Well, when you do click on that bubble, then it'll give you these options. And one of those options will be client couldn't book the call. Then it'll be the reasons why you couldn't book the call. Or it'll be solicitor. Or it'll be unbookable. Or personal. How many client care specialists really mark the accurate bubble so you can press the end of the day and go, she had 10 telephone calls she couldn't book today that were real life customers. Mm-hmm. They don't do that, do they? Why would anyone say I'm horrible? I've just let 10 calls slip through my mind.
Yeah.
So we train and we teach and we educate. Your contact center manager is supposed to look at every unbookable call and listen to it. And if you listen to it, you can get your true call booking conversion ratio. And all these companies who claim they got a 95% call booking conversion ratio, they don't know what the hell's happening in their business because it ain't true. No way in the world that it's true. All right. And the only exception may be it's the spouse answering the telephone and they may truly document what's happening. Other than that, if you're getting 30, 40, 50, 100 calls a day, you don't have a 95% booking ratio because it's just not going to happen. All right. So you got to listen to all that. Well, there's AI today that exists where you can press a button, and rather than that contact center manager listen to 50 calls to figure out which ones were true customers, which ones weren't, AI can tell you which ones are bookable. Well, guess what?
Not every company uses this software.
If you don't have a contact center manager that's going to manage the people anyway, are you going to start managing the people when you get AI telling you which calls are bookable and not bookable? No, you're not. So AI is not going to rescue that company at that point in time. All you do is spend more money on AI for something you're never going to use, and you just took more money out of your company. You got to manage the product. Now, for the person who manages it, and really has a call center manager listen to every call and truly getting true call booking conversion and sitting down with the client specialist and then educating them on, hey, this was really a bookable call. Now let's practice this. And what can we say and what can we do differently next time when they get IEI? Now they won't have to listen to 50 calls. They'll be able to listen to the 4 that AI identifies or 10 or whatever it was. And now just focus on more skill development with the client care specialist. So AI is going to make you more of what you already are today.
Yeah, that's right.
Is there any solutions you offer or you're using right now in Healer, HVAC, electrical and plumbing, which is helping them to do that?
Oh, there's a lot of AI at Healer organization.
All the AI. Healer AI already, not HVAC and electrical and plumbing, right?
But it still has to have a management team.
Yeah, and go to the houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still a relationship business. It's still an interaction one-on-one. It's interaction with the homeowners. It's interaction with the field personnel. It's interaction with the office. So AI is a tool. That's all it is. It's not the bucket of gold.
Last month we did booking rate 94%. Because when we started to use AI, before it was 64%, the booking rate when we started using AI more than 1.5 years ago, it was started to be 74% because dispatchers starting to see their scores, how they talk with humans, but it still was too far from the perfect. So actually what we did, we used some KPIs from Praxis S10, put there how nice we've been with customer, like a play scorebook and all the other things. And just recently we started using in January. In January, we've got 94% booking rate. Before even the AI exists, it was too far because we've been using wrong things. We've been using our dispatchers for the collect the money from the customers. And that was stupid thing we ever done for like many years, even where we've been in Praxis. And then we put their KPIs. Even I had the resistance like, oh, we've listened these things. It's nice, but we don't want to do that because I don't believe it's going to work. Then we tried to do something, accomplish, and I'm like, it's working. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? How did it work? Because I was thinking, what, it's not going to work, but it's worked. And that was surprise. Just like turn off your head, brain, whatever. Here's the instruction. You have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do it. Done. Like, don't think about it. Just do it. Here's the instruction. And there's a many organization tried to sign me to educate me how to do the business right. Like, I don't know, many even from Russia or Russian speaking organization for a lot of money. And they try to educate me how to do the business in the home services, but they have no idea about what the home services really is. When I found the Praxis S10, because I was looking for to be as a membership of some of the club or whatever, where the entrepreneurs are talking to each other. And then I found the Praxis S10. I was too skeptical. I actually got the call from one of your guys and he said, it's like a membership, it's blah, blah, blah. You have to come to our office for 3 days. It's called lunch. It's like a 3 days course. I said, okay. How much is it? Blah, blah, blah. And then like when I came, because the guy who was selling this, actually the course itself, the course or membership, he didn't bring me the value. Because after I came to him and I said, your sales process is a little bit wrong. You asked me the wrong questions. Maybe he was too young at the time. I don't. Andrew, he still works?
Come on, did you really just say his name and then just ask me if he still works here? No, he doesn't work. You hold nothing back on these, do you?
Huh?
You hold nothing back. You throw him under the bus.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like about my resistance as well, because I'm too skeptical for many things. And you mentioned the home services industry, HVAC, electrical, plumbing. It's slow developing. I go to the CES, Customer Electronics Show, to see all the robots and all the AI stuff. And then once in a 4 year, I go to the AHR Expo, CES and AHR Expo, and there's a 100-year gap. Here's like electronics, robots, AI, all the like crawling, trying to bite you. all the robots. And here, the 100 gap, compressors, refrigerants, leak detectors, and then like, holy smoke. Like, it's too big difference, and there's no any robots. I was going to this expo, and I'm saying, this is why I'm here, and I will stick with it for next 40 years, whatever it's gonna happen with this CES industry, with all the robots and all the stuff.
Well, here's what I know, or believe I know again. Fuse franchise, Fuse service, whatever you want to call yourself, and Praxis S10 in this relationship where we work together. Anybody who is inside your organization, they also gain access to this organization, and you're providing them just an unbelievable tool, which shows me anyway how committed you are to their success. It shows how confident you are that you have a system that will drive success for individuals because you've lived it. You came from Russia. You had limited dollars in your pocket. You went into the trades. You worked hard. You figured it out. You know, and you and I were discussing levels of revenue and what the stage one to start with. And I'm not getting into those details because that's your private proprietary knowledge. But you've got a system, and you know exactly how to take a person that's starting a business. You know exactly how much capital they need, and you know exactly how to guide them and direct them. And what I can share with them is you've evidenced it. You've gone from 13 to 28. You're going to go to 40 million. And the last time you were here, we had over there on that wall, what were the things that you did? And every one of those things you referenced came out of that 3-day launch.
Exactly.
And they're basic fundamentals that Jimmy Hiller wakes up. They're things that we built our $220-some million business. We did every single day as well. We've got everything that anybody needs. We've got every tool that they need to be successful. All right. Do we have all those sexy little things that some people want? No, because a lot of those sexy things don't make you money. You want to know how to make money? You want to know how to run a successful service company? We've got every single tool on how to do that, which means you've got it at Fuse Franchising, every single tool, because you've taken these tools, you've employed them inside Fuse Services, and your business just keeps growing. Now, if people are willing, and this will be the key, and I don't know the people who are in your franchise organization or soon to be in your franchise organization, but if they will just submit. It's the person that thinks they're smarter than the system, that they're smarter than the industry, that will always be left behind.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So the guy, I mean, I still remember the day when Jimmy Hiller told me, I knew what I was doing. I'd been in business 11 years, wasn't working. And I looked at your business and I went, why the heck am I trying to question them? Why am I trying to question what they do? Why am I trying to decide whether I want to do it or not do it? Why don't I just do like they do? And the day that I submitted and just started doing what you told me to do is the day my business took off. So, Adam, that's my long story of saying we've got the knowledge. You've got the knowledge. Anybody who's in your system has everything they need to succeed. But I don't know if they're real or not. They got to be the right person and bring the internal drive. And it takes both. And I can't give them the internal drive. You can't give them the internal drive. All we can do is create an environment where if they have, and they have the it, but if they're not going to make it inside your organization with this system that we have in our organization,
it's nothing going to help.
Then they might as well go get a 9-to-5 job and destine themselves to be an employee for someone else the rest of their life.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's my story, and I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah. If we won't help you, nobody going to help you, right?
Meaning?
Mostly, like 99% of the chances, nobody going to help you.
Yeah.
As we can.
Absolutely. Okay? And then you only have 2 things in life as well. You got time or you got money. I'm not telling you that some individual couldn't figure out everything that we know. It'll take them 100 years. Most people don't have 100 years of their life to figure out what they could walk into day one. So you only get it, put the money up or put the time up. You're going to do one or the other. And what they don't understand, or some people don't, is time is money. You want to spend 20 years of your life figuring it out? before you start achieving success? Or do you want to know what you need to do day one and spend the next 20 years building what you could build, or 10 years building what you could build? And you'll be 10 times further than the guy who thinks he can figure it out on his own. So I can lay my head on my pillow at night knowing with 100% conviction, I got everything an individual needs to drive success from a mechanical business standpoint. I can't give them the intestinal fortitude. I can't give them the will. I can't give them the perseverance. I can't give them the integrity. You can't do that either. All right. But you got a wonderful resource. You got a wonderful available. I'm appreciative of our relationship here, your tremendous success story. I get excited hearing your story about how you've come here, and excited about the opportunity that you and I are going to play in helping these people build a great business across the United States and be a tremendous success story. So with that, I know we said we'd go about 60 minutes, and I've got Ignite that I'm really focused on. And I think we've probably exceeded our 60 minutes. So
yeah, I think yes.
So unless there's anything pressing from you that we haven't answered, would this be a good place to wrap this up?
Yeah, I want to just wrap it. If you have any questions to Terry, leave them in the comments below. I will transfer to him and I will chase him to get this answer back. If not, if you don't want to comment, just get into the Praxis S10 organization. Even without Fuse service, it's going to be easy for you guys. I mean, just to implement it, process it, and get success. That's it. Easy. Success is easy. Just need to do it.
Okay, my friend. Appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
Thank you. Thank you very much.